A very warm welcome here, and this is Micky again. I know that this is a tough time that we are, all of us are facing, but I have got here somebody who is known by the name Blessing. Blessing. So Blessing is having some kind of trouble out there. So I'll take Sophia. Sophia, what exactly are you thinking about this global connect?
It's a change. It's a lifetime change for the world.
Mhm.
It is the way I see it. It changes. Will never be the same. We will never see things the same way. We will never do things the same way anymore. It's a sudden change that it brought on for everyone. That's what I see.
Well, that is one thing. But Lydia, do you have any kind of input here with what the world is facing at this point of time?
Oh, okay. Good day, everyone. It's a very big pleasure to be on set with wonderful women like you. As a matter of fact, what has happened with COVID-19 and the time in our hands is something that is mind-boggling. It's mind-boggling to the extent that a lot of meanings are coming up. It has come with a change that's one is unprecedented. One is unprecedented, and then the fact that is a change that was not we didn't nobody prepared for it. Nobody knew it was going to come. So it took everyone by surprise. And of course, when there is a surprise, the fact that it was going to impact on life and is impacting life and is costing life at the same time is exposing people to new ways of doing things. We are seeing people who have the capacity to lead. We are seeing people who perhaps need to shaping their skills in directing people, in influencing them in such a way that it could impact and tell on how their survival would be. It is a time, for me, it's a time that we need to look inwards. It's a time that we need to find some personalities that we really think can make difference, that can tell a story, a lifelong story for humanity. So, it's a story that is, in fact, I have no word to express how the world has gone. And like my other colleague has said, that's Sophia. Sophia has said it all, that it has come to change humanity. And as a matter of fact, a lot of learning outcomes will be what away from COVID-19. So that's what I can say for now concerning our experience. Then
Yeah,
to my
I
own
know. Like,
personal experience,
mhm.
okay, yes, go ahead.
No, go ahead. Because I
Thank
agree
you.
with
I was just going
Lydia
to say
and
how it
Sophia.
has evolved, it has
Mhm.
touched lives, is impacting on personalities to the extent that your relationship with people is what counts now. Yes, they tell us social distancing is one of the ways that we can prevent it from spreading, and that is what we are practicing. But because we are women who have compassion in our hearts, we understand the fact that yes, even if we are distant, we need to be closer to one another. So it's a test on your ability to show sincerity and humanity. How do you touch life? How are you wired inside of you to impact other people's life? That is what matters now. But look at us here. We are gathered because we feel there's a connection. We want to reach out to know how we individually we are handling this. That is where it starts. So I want to tell you that moving forward, the world will need to learn from COVID-19 onwards that there is something that is called compassion, feeling for one another, feeling the pulse that the other person feels. That is what will change the world totally after COVID-19. And that's why the change would be so impactful, especially if we continue to practice like this. The starting point is looking out for the other person, and then we extend it beyond our immediate family to who people that are around us. So that's how the world will be wired up to continue, and the existence will now be what we build on relationship much more.
So, what exactly is like your input on when we talk about Esther? This is my question to you. Like, I know that it's a changed world, right? How is your family coping up with it?
Well, hi, I'm very glad that you guys have invited me to this great forum. Um, I mean, as Lydia said, is a learning. It has taught us a lot of things during this short period of time. And in history, when you look at history, every 1,100 years, something happened. Pandemic happens. So it is not something that was out of the blue, but the impact was underestimated. So for me, for my family, what I do is I have grown children. So they are back from college. I have one in high school. High school, I have two in college. One is graduating. Fortunately, graduating this May. So anytime they go out for important things, I advise them to make sure that they wear their mask, they
That's
wear their
I call it a
gloves.
new makeup. It's a new makeup.
Yes.
Exactly,
The new makeup.
exactly,
A new
exactly.
makeup.
Sometimes they'll ask me, well, must we do this? So as a mother, we have to teach our children how to not only control the virus, but protect themselves from getting it from another person. So if they are going out, they make sure they have their mask on, they have their gloves on, they wear long sleeve clothes if possible. And when they come back, the first thing I tell them to do, make sure you wash your hands at least 2 minutes. When you finish washing your hands, I send them immediately upstairs, go take a shower, a hot bath. So they'll go upstairs and they take a shower, and then we can, look at things and see what we can do to feed ourselves, eat. In terms of if we go to grocery and we buy some food items, what I do is when I bring those things in, when we come back, I sanitize them. All right. I wipe down my counter. I wash my vegetables. I wash my fruits very well before I refrigerate them. So when
Is it
you wear
happening
your
to all of
gloves,
you? Is it happening
huh?
to all of you? Because is it happening to all of you out there? Miss Aurora, Sophia, Lydia, this is my question to you. Blessing is having some problems in getting connected to us, although this is her show. But are you guys facing the same problem as Esther is talking about, like wearing the mask, going out, getting panic attacks, washing your hands, those kind of things going at the back of your mind, something like that?
For me, I've been home. My kids, when they go out, they always wear their mask. They do their thing, but sometimes we just look at life this in not the same way, but we don't let the virus overtake everything that we do. We try to live as normal as we possibly can. So when I speak to my grandchildren, when I speak to the girls, I find that because they're younger and they're in the house, their favorite word is "I'm bored." I'm bored. They can't go outside because they're so used to activities. So when they finish their schoolwork online and they don't want to watch TV anymore, because they watch TV so much that they're so bored and they can't do. So when I said, okay, go outside, or if they're going outside, they will say, oh, they can't go outside because they don't want to catch the virus. And they wear their mask. So the mask has become an necessary accessory
Yes.
to everyone now, especially the kids. Their favorite thing is to go to the park, and they can't do that now because the park are closed. So these are some of the
Yeah.
things that my family faces. We don't go outside as much anymore, and we tend to be always going. So now it kind of changed us to be inside and to take that time to spend with each other. So we'll see what happens.
Oh,
Yeah.
interesting.
I,
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 And,
I,
agree.
and
Miss
I
Harpal, would
yes,
you
agree.
like
it's
to
a
give
very
us your
good time
input?
to
Yeah, I
bond.
agree
It's
that
a,
this is
a
the
very good time
time
to bond as well.
um, in isolation, to keep ourselves in isolation, not to mingle with everyone so often as we used to. But at the same time, I would say that it's the time to keep calm. Don't panic.
Yeah,
Get the right kind of education, get the right kind of precautions that can save us from COVID 19. But at the same time, it is our family time, the time that we can't spend because we were busy in all our work, going out, doing all the stuff. But at this time, this is our family time. We can spend valuable time with the family without getting panic.
yeah, I
oh,
agree
thank you
with
so
that.
much. Unfortunately, I have another perception to it. We need to also, when we capture some of our views, it's dynamic. It's a situation that caught people in different a condition that came upon us surprisingly, and so many people were caught in different situations. Myself, I came for the United Nations conference for International Women's Day. I came in from Africa to the United States. I got here on the 29th of February, and I was
So
supposed
you
to
have been
attend
traveling all this while? You have been
pardon?
traveling? Have you been traveling, Lydia, all this while?
No, I couldn't travel. I got trapped. Right now, I'm in the United States, and my family is back in Africa, in Nigeria. So, I haven't seen them. In fact, the first week of coronavirus was traumatic for me, and I kept crying when I'm on the phone with my family. I'm crying, "Oh Lord, I want to be with you, but I can't be with you." But in all this, like my former speaker, who just that's Madam I would like to call you by name, Aurora. So she said, yes, it's a time to gather information. It's very important. Like I refer to the story of Esther in the Bible as a Christian. When crises happen, you see people, women are supposed to gather themselves. We as women, we are the people who men let us in at the point when there is crisis. So I see that story as an inspiring story for every woman to look at. So that happened to me. I was crying a lot, but at a point I told myself, if you need to make a difference, you need to gather information. So I went online. There were lots of scary information, but in fact, I took a certification on COVID-19 just for me to be sure of what I know, just because I want to be in a position of authority. That way I am no longer scared. So if you first thing to do in crisis, get information. So when I got informed, I was able to go back home, call my family at intervals to tell them, don't worry, I will be fine. You guys should be fine. This is what you need to look out for. Now Africa is not experiencing any crisis yet, but prepare. Go buy food, keep in the house, make sure you have your mask. Don't go here, don't go there. Don't allow people to come to the house. And I told my children all that, and I told my husband to look out for the children, that I'm safe where I am. So the truth of the matter is, a lot of people are in crisis right now, not because they would have loved to, they would have, even when they prepared, there was crisis, a situation where no matter how much you prepare, you may not still be in control. But the important thing is that we need to try to live up to expectation by getting as much information as we can. Tell ourselves that we are strong enough without having to let in fear, because when there is fear, it overtakes you. It overtakes you. And then another circumstance I would like to bring into consideration is this, now if we are at home in Europe or in America, or in the part of the world where we are, you have access to food, you have access to security. But way back in Africa, there are some people who can't get access because you can't even distance in a family that they had. Their family house is just, maybe they have a lot of people in their neighborhood. You can't keep a distance, so the virus can still
But
replicate in
that
those
is,
kind
I
of
think,
situations.
basically because of lack of
Wh-
education. People
what
are,
I
yeah, go ahead, Miss Arora.
what I think that it is the time, of course, it's very difficult time. The need of the
Exactly.
hour is to keep a positive mind with an
Exactly.
informed circumstances so that we can save ourselves, we can save our family members, and we can save other people who come in our contact. Whether it is we are going out to get some medical assistance, or we are going outside to get some groceries or anything, but we should have enough information so that we can save ourselves as well as we can save other people who come in our contact.
And where exactly are you? Are you in India or are you in Canada?
I am in Canada, in Toronto.
You're in Toronto. So
Yeah.
basically, other than Lydia, who is in US, and
Yeah.
how's situation out there? I know that it's like it's epicenter,
Oh
and
yes.
it
The
yeah.
situation here, we are very obedient. I will tell you that in the last 3 weeks, I haven't been outside of this room. But I am confident that somewhere we are in control, provided we take the rules and follow the procedures that the CDC has put in place. However, my concerns are for the people who are eager to go back to their work. Unfortunately, it's not within the control. That makes the fear for the health sector. If they overflow the health sector, that is where the crisis is not no we are no longer in control. So my concern is if those people that are eager to go back to work, especially I hear that in Atlanta, Georgia area of the United States, the barbing salons are open and all that. I'm using this if we have an outreach there to reach out to women and reach out to people because I have a focus believing that women are the champions of this crisis. They can actually guide people as far as that is concerned. Please take charge of your life. Even if the government says go back to work, I don't see how you can maintain distance, social distance in a salon where you're making your nails, you're doing your hair. That can come later. So we at the forefront, as women, we can make an impact. We can make the difference by educating more people like we are doing now. I'm believing that this is an opportunity for other women to listen and where they call out to their fellow women that, look, we can make a difference in this time of crisis by educating more people. It will make a difference. So for me as an individual, I'm fine because I've put myself in a position of knowledge and in a position I'm in control. I'm also calling Africa to make sure that my family is good and my husband is fine. Everybody is fine around my family. But my concern is for every woman, every child, because reports are coming in that women, gender-based violence is increasing, even as we speak.
Depression is
Yes.
increasing. We are having more depression patients out there who it's getting kicked in. Everything is slowly getting kicked in. And as I said, that it's not. We are looking at another 2 years. That is to settle down for the pandemic. But when we talk about settling down our heads, brains, our emotional behavior, it is going to take forever because it's gotten in there at the back of your mind. I have Osis. Welcome to Design Television. And I don't know, we haven't checked your mic, but how are you and where are you located?
I'm fine. I'm fine. Can you hear everyone? From Canada, Brampton.
So you are in Brampton. How is the condition there in Brampton? And just tell us, how are you facing this pandemic um, thing?
Thank you very much. Well, so far everyone has been doing the social distancing, and for me personally, when I'm going to the grocery, I like to wear my hand gloves just for me. If I don't put it on, it's like I'm not okay. So I like to put on my hand gloves. Then if I have to wear my mask, I wear my mask. But when I'm driving, I don't wear my mask. But when I go to the grocery, I just put on my mask. I have to follow the procedure, give a distance, you know, 6 feet apart. And when I get back home, first thing I do, I drop my stuff in the garage.
Yeah,
I
right.
don't wash. So I drop that in the garage for some minutes. Then go back, bring them in like apple. I wash them very well because I know my kids, they love to eat apple. So I wash them, I keep them there. And another thing is when I say, okay, let's go outside, just to have a stroll. They don't like to go outside. They like to stay in their room. They feel they are okay. They're teenagers. They like to watch their phone and everything. So most of the time, I tell them, you know what, you can't stay indoors. You need to go outside. They say, okay, then we agree to go to the backyard. Once they play and everything, they come back, they make sure they know what to do. I don't know. They know what to do. They go to the washroom.
So
Once
I,
they
I
come,
like
reset.
sorry to cut you short. Sorry to cut you short there, Osas. I don't know how many of you are in touch with the frontline workers because of course there are frontline workers out there who are doing a lot of hard work for us. And one of them is the major, the category is people at the grocery stores
I can't
who
really,
are working for us day and night.
it's breaking. I can't really hear every word you're saying.
Yeah, probably you just try to adjust your mic. And Miss Aurora, if you can take off your earphones because they are causing a little bit of, vibration when we are talking or while you're moving. So, yeah, so that would be a little better. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. So, when we are talking about the frontline workers, as I said before this, is anybody of you in touch with them and has experienced something? What is happening out there? and how things are working. Esther, do you know anything, or Lydia or Sophia?
Yeah, I have a few friends that are nurses, and they
Mhm.
work, some of them, a few of them work in the nursing homes, the different ones in Toronto, and
Mhm.
they will talk about the situation. By God's grace and mercy, their nursing home is not on the news, and they don't see as many deaths as the others, and they are taking all the precaution that they can, but it's not easy because they're working long shifts because some of their co-workers don't come in. They take the time off because some of them they don't have the virus, but they want to protect themselves, so they don't come in and work with the patients that who is sick. And what they say is that they make a place in the nursing home for the ones that are sick that need more attention than the others. So it is. We pray for them every day because they have to go in, and they go in, and when they hear something, their spirit gets a little trigger, but then they realize that, you know what, God has them, and He's keeping them, even though. And so far, they when they report to when they talk to us, and when I talk to them, they're good, even though it is they see a lot of that debt and a lot of working long hours, and they're afraid to go home to their family. So when they go home, they isolate themselves from their wives,
I
from
have
their
actually,
husband.
Sophia, I have actually heard that I know some of the people who are frontline workers, but they have started this trend of working and then going back and staying separate. They have actually abandoned their families for the time being, literally, so that they don't, if God forbid, if they are in contact with the virus or they
Yeah.
have actually had it, they don't want to see their family at that point of time while they are serving the battlefield out there.
Yep. They
I
do.
have seen that and I've heard about it, and this is really sad, very sad when you see your own children, and you so
As a matter of fact, I'm aware of a lady in the front line who actually, got the virus,
Hmm.
and thank God she could make it. Is a big concern. The reason why it's a big concern is because the workforce, the front line in the medical field, we have at least 80 to 70% of them are females, and that's my area, very big area of concern for me, because I work with women in the field, so that makes me is an area that we need to really continue to pray for our women, because right now it's traumatic. Not just when you make it, it's going to take a long time for their mental, it's telling so hard on them because they are seeing everything happening at the front line. So they really need our support, even as much as they can't be with their family, they can't be with their loved ones, they can't express the kind of love they wish to express. They are going through a lot of tough time. So we need to continue to uphold them. Like the instance of that lady who had the virus, she needed quite a lot of support. And right now, I thank the kind of people that I know. My host was sending food to her, praying for her and all that. That's the kind of support we ought to give them right now. And then for some of them, even where they don't have the virus, they have I've had a case recently where the person was ill over and over with all the symptoms, but not that she had the virus. But then psychologically, you need to wire yourself and tell yourself that no, I'm not there. I need to be strong enough to give help to the people that
exactly,
we're seeing. So let's continue to lift
exactly.
them in our prayers. It's very important. Women lifting women, yes.
Exactly. And also, please share with us some of your experiences and tell us what is your background, what do you work as, are you staying at home, how are you working from home, how are things out there in Brampton?
Yeah, thank you. I'm from Nigeria, and I've not traveled for a long time, so I don't really know what is really actually going on there right now. Though I have some siblings that give me feedback, and also I have a relative that work in the field with the people with COVID-19, and he told me that it's not really easy for them seeing deaths and also seeing people that are being quarantined and all that stuff. And she also told me that what she does when she come back home is to ensure that he follow his vitamins. And also she told me that she likes to keep up with his ginger and lime. That because seeing them all the time is not easy. It gives them emotional stress. You know, they are really
Exactly.
down. Seeing dead people
It
and
boosts
all
your
that
immunity.
stuff.
It's- It
So,
boosts
like
your
what,
immunity.
yeah, like what Lydia said, what the women really need is prayer. They need encouragement. They need people to actually pray for them to ensure that there are other people out there praying for them, so that it boosts their spirit up to treat others.
Exactly. What is your input, Esther, on this? Like, how do you have you come across any of the frontline workers as your friends, or paramedics, or doctors, nurses,
I actually,
even grocery store people? I call them workers as well, frontline workers.
yeah, I actually have my daughter's friend is working at Target, and again, those
There
are
you go.
the kind of workers that keeps our food service running. When I see them, if I happen to go to the grocery store, I always encourage them and thank them for what they do, because they put their lives online for us to kind of survive. You can't stay at home without them. So anytime I meet them, I say thank you for what you do. Please, we shouldn't be afraid. There's just nothing to fear about, but you have to protect yourself. Always protect yourself. Take the precautionary measures to make sure that you're following the CDC guidelines. So thank them. Make sure that when they come back, they because they are at risk and their families are at risk as well. The unfortunate thing is that most of these people, even though when they have the coronavirus or the virus, they come home and they don't know about it. I have a
I
brother in New York.
uh,
Actually, this morning he told me that because he calls me mom, and he said, "Mom, do you know I experienced coronavirus even before the outbreak? What I used was I used lime. There's this native African Nigerian herbs that I used to bring from home anytime I go home, and he told me his experience, and I'm like, oh my god, you really have that? He said yes, but he used herbs, traditional measures to kind of treat himself and get himself better. So
somebody was
encouragement,
telling me,
encouragement,
Esther.
and just
I'll cut you short there. Sorry about that, because our time is running out. We were wanting Blessing to join us, although Blessing is contributing a lot in this, and she is going live every day. And thanks, Blessing, if you're hearing this. Design Television thanks you from the bottom of their hearts for making this show possible. She's the leading lady whom we cannot see on the screen because she has some connection problems. But somebody was telling me the other day that they took all the preventive measures, but the only little thing that was left was the mailbox. Touching the mailbox, coming back, touching the mails, the letters, the envelopes, actually that causes a lot of problem, and it is something that I believe that the audiences should know. That is the most vulnerable spot.
Yes,
What do you think about it?
sorry, I totally agree with you. Sorry to cut in there. I agree with you on that. I was ignorant about that. Even if I am still a guest where I'm in the US, and so some of the times when I'm bored, I walk down and I go to the mailbox. As I take a walk, I say, okay, let me help and pick up the mails. So most of the time, it crosses my mind that, oh, are you sure it's safe to take the meals? I'm like, oh, stop it. Don't be paranoid. I tell myself that. But, truly, one of the times when I picked up the meals and I brought it in, my host said, oh, moving forward, why don't you try to get your hand gloves? And she told me a story of a woman who never went out. And it was only via the mail that she got the virus. And, so sorry she passed on. So we need to, be careful to the much that we do. Even the people who drop the mails for us, they use
They are
their hand
cautious.
gloves.
They are
So it's very
cautious.
important that we do those measures as well when we are dealing with items that we haven't been exposed to. And let me quickly also use this opportunity to make an appeal, because it's so disheartening to hear about the discrimination going on against the frontline workers. So you can
Yes.
imagine someone who is putting her life or his life on the line on for the whole world. If there is any war that people have to put their lives on that they could not even see their opponents, this is COVID-19 war. And these brave and gallant people are fighting to keep our lives alive, keep us all alive. So when they get those kind of discrimination, where I heard recently that some people were harassed in public for being nurses, for being in the health sector, I feel that is not acceptable. And I want to appeal to the people who do not understand the gravity of what they have done to please have a change of mind. We need to celebrate these heroes of our time. They have done so much. They are by putting their own lives on the line to save us. So that's about
Right.
it for now. So yeah, thank you.
Sophia, when it comes to you, I see that it's in the middle of the afternoon and you are enjoying that sunlight which is coming through the windows out there, and you are
Mm.
dozing off. Just what kind of precautions are you taking at home when it comes to kids or any family member or a senior at home leaving the home and going out and coming? I do it. I've kept a box. I throw in all the wallets there and the keys there. This is my precaution. And visiting the mailbox once
I
in a week.
haven't.
That
Yeah. For me, I haven't been outside of my house for a whole month, and
wow,
I
commendable.
We have
I am good. My son,
accepted.
they go to the grocery store, and they always have on their gloves and their mask, and when they
Looks like
come,
a
they put.
battlefield out there, right?
Yeah, and
Looks like
they said they have to stand in the line for at least half an hour to an hour to go into the grocery store, and
and then the
you can't
cashier's
even
line.
bring your bags. You know, the bags you take to the grocery store. You're not allowed to bring anything in. You get bags out. They give you the bags to put the grocery in now. You can't take the bags in anymore. And we wash everything. I always tell them when they come take your stuff off at the door, don't go too far and just leave it there or go and wash your
I'm
hands.
sure you
Go
must
and
be panicking a lot. I panic a lot. I panic a lot. I feel
yeah,
like boiling
it's not panic.
everybody
It's not panic, but I just want to
It's
make
just be
sure that
yeah, just make sure.
yeah, since
No,
I'm not
I
going
make my
outside, I don't want anything to come in. So
no, but I agree with her. I agree with Sophia there because whenever anybody steps out of my home and when they come back, I tell them I'm going to boil you if you go out next to me. Literally boil you
yep,
because that is
I
the best
yeah.
disinfectant.
So we
And
have
you,
the sun and we have the balcony, and when we want some fresh air, we just go to the balcony and get the fresh air and then come.
yes, I agree. Yeah,
We
that is
wipe
Miss
all the
Aurora. You were saying
grocery.
something.
We wipe
I
all
So
the grocery bags whenever we come after shopping. And even if something comes in the mail, we spray the stuff on this to
yeah.
like to make it safe, and then we open the boxes.
I have
Mm.
my garage is a pantry now. I enter from the garage
Exactly,
door.
exactly.
There are two cars parked in there, and rest of them are out. So my car is used as a pantry cabinet. I put everything there, and if I need it, I bring it in. If I don't need it, if it's non-perishable, I leave it there.
Yep.
That's so
Precaution.
nowadays I tell my family I'm going to the garage to get my groceries. That's all I do. So it's like it's become very hilarious. You see a lot of memes there, and horses. You are very quiet.
Yes.
I'm sorry that you joined in late because there is only a limitation of 6 to 8 people out there, and Blessing, for some reason, she cannot get connected. But I'm sure she's watching us. And Blessing, thank you very much for this opportunity of connecting people from the US and from different parts of the city to share their experiences. Osis, would you like to say something before we sign out? What do you think is the major preventive measure every family should take?
Yeah, like Joe, I came late. I was listening to Sister Linda and Sophia. Um, the measure that is really, really necessary and important right now. When you go out, make sure you put on your hand gloves. When you come back in, make sure you don't take the hand gloves with you inside. Take it off. Throw it away. Come inside, wash your hand with soap. Another thing that I do every day in the morning, I ensure that my kids and myself, we all drink our ginger and lime together with orange juice inside. I don't know, it's just part of us now that if you don't drink it, it's like there is something growing up inside of us. So that is really a major that we are following. That you know what? One thing, ginger and lime is really it works. When you take that with your vitamin, it builds up your immune system. Because once you are building up, it helps you. So that is the precaution that we are taking. That the kids know if they don't take it, it's like, mommy, I'm coughing, I need that. So it's very necessary we do that and also wash our hands with soap. Not just wash your hands, but wash it with soap.
Mhm. Miss Aurora, would you like to share some homemade remedies for us, please, which boost your immunity system? I know that there are lots from back home. So, anything that you would like to suggest what they should keep on doing? They say that every 15 to 20 minutes have lukewarm water.
Mm-hmm.
Anything
Not
that you're following,
exactly
any
any
kind of.
homemade remedy, but the only thing is that we have to take the precautions for the stuff that we bring home inside
Mm-hmm.
from the grocery stores or from anything. For example, let's we go to a gas station to fill our gas. That is the home of disinfection, the same way as um, any uh, courier service or anything like that. So we should take the precaution. What I do when I go to the grocery store or gas station, I take those wipes in my hand. I use the handles using that wipes in my hand, so that I should not touch these surfaces directly. Whether we are wearing any gloves or anything, we should take all the precautions whatever we can do to save ourselves.
Mhm. Thank you, Miss Aurora. And Sophia, coming back to you, any precautions that you are taking, making some kind of home remedies you would like to share? Anything from grandmother's bag?
Yeah, what I did, I almost said we got the ginger, garlic, lime, lemon, and we boiled it and grind up everything, and I put it in my water. Like I drink it in the water every day with vitamins, the liquid vitamins. So, and I always tell the kids this is what you need to drink because it builds the immune system. So we do garlic. It might not. What I have done recently is grind up the garlic and some honey and just take a spoon. It tastes really nasty, but it's really good for you. So it
Right.
helps again, garlic with the garlic, it helps to build your immune system. So
Immunity. Immunity.
I grind it up and I put honey in it. And I have it in the fridge, and every morning I will take half a teaspoon and just put it down my throat and then drink some water.
Like
A bit,
like a medicine. So it is become a habit, right? So,
yeah.
is there anything else that you are following for your family, with your family? Anything that you suggest them to do when it comes to home remedies?
Oh,
There's always a
okay.
myth about home remedies, but I think
Eh,
for me, they work.
Oh, okay. Well, not much of home remedy per se, other than just be careful. Don't don't go out. Don't open the door for strangers, except
Yes.
because the truth of the matter is the precaution. Yes, it works for you, but it also has to work so that it's not there. Don't cure. Yes, prevent is
Mm,
always
yeah.
better. So we're talking about social distancing. Some people don't understand it. That is what matters right now. Aside from the fact that yes, your immunity is built over time. Good. But now that's like we said, over time, these are the changes that COVID-19 has taught us, and we hope that they remain. But
Hmm.
before now, we didn't prepare for it. So in a very short time, in my own perception, I don't think a home remedy can make an impact per se. If your immunity is low, you can build it within 1 week for it to fight COVID-19. So it's better the social distancing, the physical distancing. But I take that no matter how distant you are from people, don't let them be distant from your heart. No matter, I am distant from my family and my friends right now because I'm in the US, but yours truly,
But
they
you
are in my
care. That
heart
is
every
why.
day. So that's what matters at this time. Just take the necessary precaution. Don't go to the crowd. Don't Where you go to the crowd, take the precaution. Wear your mask. Do all that. Wash up when you get home. Take your food. Let your food be your medicine at all times, not just during COVID-19. So that's my take on that.
Exactly.
Yes.
Esther, any suggestion before we sign out for the
Yeah.
audience?
Yeah. Yes, I just want to piggyback on Sophia and Lydia and what everybody has said so far. Prevention, prevention, prevention. They say prevention is better than cure. So
Yes,
you have to prevent. If you don't
that's
have to
true.
go out, do not go
Don't go
out.
out.
For my Nigerian and my African sisters and brothers, please maintain social distancing. It is very important. Follow the CDC guidelines. Stay safe. When they said wear your mask, wear your mask. So when you prevent, even though you might have, you might get into it, but when you prevent, you're 99% sure that you're not going to get into trouble when you prevent. So my overall message again is just prevention. Watch your kid. Advice as mothers, we should spread this information to others, inform them, educate them on what to do. Social distancing is very important. um, so when you do all that, I think we should be able to overcome this, and just make sure that know that this virus will not just automatically go away one day. Is a gradual process, and it's going to be
Yes,
here, just
it's
like
gonna
every
be
other
here for some
virus. It's going to
time.
be here. So
Yes.
please prevent it, and let's live life and be ourselves, and uh, reach out to other people. We're self isolated now, so call your sisters, call your brothers, check on them. If you have things to give, please give. If you have
Keep
food to
giving.
donate, please donate.
Keep giving.
Please
If you
do.
have money to give, please give. Let us take care of one another and be one, okay, to make the world a better place.
Thank you.
Well,
Beautiful.
thank you so much, guys, for joining in, and thank you so much, Blessing. Without you, this wouldn't have been possible. But unfortunately, because of poor connections and social distancing, we couldn't get her on the camera. Otherwise, she would have been sitting right next to me here. She's a sweetheart. This is Mickey Gulati again, signing out. Guys, be safe. We will see each other soon. Till then,
Thank you
Yeah.
so much. Thank you. I've enjoyed it. Bye bye.